Hey, before we dive in, please take a quick moment to support this podcast. Hit subscribe, like this episode, share it with someone who might need it, and drop a comment with what resonates for you. Your engagement really helps this podcast grow and reach more listeners. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Now let's go.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stephanie Jacobs, equipping us and our relationships to keep moving forward. So come and journey with me, and along the way, stick these tools in your back pocket. Have you ever been in a conversation where it felt like the other person just could not hear you, even though you were speaking clearly? Sometimes that experience is not only about the words being said. Sometimes it's about the nervous system and your middle ear. When we become stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, or pulled into fight or flight mode, the body changes how it takes in information. That includes the way it hears voices. The ear is not a passive receiver in those moments. It is part of the body's broader state of protection or connection. When the nervous system is calm and regulated, the ear is better able to tune into human speech, tone, and emotional nuance. When stress rises, that process becomes less efficient. Inside the middle ear are two tiny muscles, the stapedius and the tensor tympani, that help regulate how sound vibrations travel through the ear. Their job is to gently tighten the chain of tiny bones and reduce the impact of sudden sounds or loud sounds, almost like a built-in shock absorber. These muscles are influenced by the nervous system and work alongside the brain to help the hearing system adapt to different listening environments. When stress activates the body's survival response, these muscles may become more tense or reactive in some people, contributing to changes in how sound is transmitted and perceived. That may show up as muffled hearing, ear pressure, sound sensitivity, fluttering, buzzing, clicking, or a general sense that sound is harder to take in, although these symptoms can have other causes as well. In very plain language, when the body is bracing, the way sound is experienced can change too. This matters in relationships because we often assume communication breaks down only when someone is being defensive, distracted, or unkind. But often, the nervous system is the first thing to go offline. When one or both partners are in a stress response, the brain shifts from connection to protection. That means neutral words can sound sharper than intended, reassurance can be harder to receive, and even a calm, steady voice may not always register as soothing. A polyvagal lens helps make sense of this. When the nervous system feels safe, we're more able to hear the warmth behind another person's words. We are more open to tone, facial expression, and relational cues. When the nervous system feels threatened, the body shifts into survival mode, and attention becomes more focused on scanning for danger than on receiving connection. From an evolutionary standpoint, this makes sense. If the body perceives threat, it is less concerned with subtle emotional cues and more focused on detecting potential signs of danger. In that state, the same voice may not land as soft or reassuring because the nervous system is prioritizing protection over connection. The same sentence can feel and sound very different depending on the nervous system state in which someone finds themselves. This is one reason why conflict can escalate so quickly. Two people may be talking, but neither nervous system is fully available for true listening. During stress, people often become more sensitive to cues they perceive as threatening, which can make neutral statements feel critical, dismissive, or hostile. A normal volume might feel shouty to one person, and they may snap at the other to stop yelling, even when there is no yelling at all. Some people under chronic stress report experiences such as sound sensitivity, earfulness, difficulty concentrating, or difficulty taking in what others are saying, although these experiences can have many causes. They may seem zoned out or frequently ask you to repeat yourself. This often feels like a lack of interest or selective hearing to the other partner, when it may reflect the effects of an overloaded nervous system on attention, perception, and engagement. What one person experiences as an invitation, the other may experience as pressure. What one person experiences as calm, the other may experience as too much. In that state, talking louder or longer usually does not help. What helps most is slowing the system down. That might mean pausing, lowering your voice, using fewer words, changing rooms, or going for a walk. It might mean saying, I want to understand you, or can we slow this down a bit before trying to solve the problem? These small shifts do not erase the conflict, but they can create enough safety for the nervous system to settle. Other strategies can also help the body shift out of fight or flight and support a return to regulation. These include a physiological sigh. For example, take a deep inhale through the nose, a quick second sip of air, followed by a slow exhale through the mouth. You can try splashing cold water on the face, humming or singing, or something called somatic shaking, which simply means gently but vigorously shaking the arms, legs, and torso for a minute. Please don't do this on babies or children. These practices can help engage the parasympathetic nervous system and promote a greater sense of calm and safety. Once the nervous system settles, people are more often better able to process speech, social cues, emotional nuance, and the intentions behind another person's words, making a productive conversation more possible. So maybe the question is not, why are they not hearing me? Maybe the more compassionate question is, in what state is their nervous system right now? When we begin to understand that listening is not just psychological but physiological, it becomes easier to slow down, stay curious, and create the kind of safety that makes real closeness possible. Sometimes what looks like resistance is really overload. Sometimes what looks like not listening is a nervous system that cannot yet receive. And sometimes the most helpful thing we can do is not push harder, but pause long enough for both people to return to a state where connection can take shape. Because real connection often begins not when we speak louder or longer, but when we help the nervous system soften enough to both hear and listen.